Alright guys, we are headed up to Saguaro Lake. It is Wednesday night. It's 5:22 right now. We do a Wednesday nighter every other week. And so we're headed up to Saguaro Lake here in Arizona. And hopefully we can get some better results. Been doing this now for 3 months or so. 2 months. And out of all the tournaments I've done, I think I've only landed maybe one fish. So this lake has been real tough for me. I have not been able to figure it out. People have been real helpful trying to give me some tips, people that have been catching them, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So we just keep at it though. I mean, the only way to get better is to keep on fishing. So we're heading down to this lake, and hopefully tonight's gonna be a better night. I have a good feeling about it. I got a good plan. We just had a huge storm come through this morning. I mean, a huge storm. It was a ton of rain, a lot of wind, flooded out part of Arizona, like washed cars away, and I mean, it was bad, but it's nice and clear now. Matter of fact, here's the lake for you, give you guys a nice little view. Hopefully you guys can see that down there. So, not really sure what that's going to do to the bite. I know sometimes after a rain, bite can be pretty good, but I can also shut a bite off. So it just depends, I guess, on how the fish are feeling today. So let's get back to you guys when we're on the water. We'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys. So got to put this in there. We're starting this tournament about a half hour late. Basically, by the time we got there and we went to go drop the boat in the water, as we were backing the boat down to the ramp, we noticed that a boat was getting pulled in by a jet ski. I originally thought that their motor was not working or something, so they were getting towed in. Turns out that they forgot to put the plugs in the boat. It was a new boat owner, and the boat was sinking. So they were getting pulled in, back of the boat's completely underwater, and they didn't have a tow rope, so they were just using like a elastic band, which is all that they had, so they were making do with what they had. But basically, when it got shallow enough, the back of the boat hit the ground, and when it did, that was enough pressure to snap the strap that they had. So now the boat's about 20 to 30 feet away from the trailer that they're trying to load into. So I seen this, and so I hopped out. I have a 50-foot tow rope in the back of the boat. So I pull out my tow rope, toss it out to them. They get it hooked up to the boat. We get it hooked up to their trailer winch, and they're all out there trying to push the boat in, and I was just helping them winch it in. It took us about 45 minutes to get it onto the trailer. I mean, the boat was completely full of water. It had probably 1,500 pounds of water in the boat, so it was hard to get in. And so we finally get it up on the trailer, get it tied down, strapped down, and they start pulling out. We launch the boat, and by time my co goes and parks and gets back down to the dock, it's 6:30, so we're a half hour late. So everyone else has already launched, so we got some catching up to do. So we're going to go ahead and run to our first spot, and that's kind of where the video is going to pick up. So enjoy the video.
Let's hope we can get some new Gateway results here. That'd be funny if I was like, let's get a Sean and who it is. I should just read it, so that way I don't even afford making. Yeah, on it, like, I was like, this is awesome. I'm glad they did something with it.
Alright guys, so just kind of touch base on what we've been doing so far. We've been fishing this bank that's in about 10 to 15 foot of water, but has a pretty steep drop off into about 60 feet. In summertime in Arizona, I mean, you could really catch them down into 60 feet of water. We're not really hitting that deep. We're kind of staying a little shallow. There's a lot of shad up shallow, so they're chasing shad up there. So I'm throwing moving baits, deep crankbaits that are getting down into the 20, 25 foot range. He's throwing jigs, Texas rigs, weightless Senkos, and we're really not having a whole bunch of luck with this. And so we switch up every now and then. I'll switch up to a bottom bait. He'll switch up to a moving bait. He threw some top waters in there. As a team, that's kind of what we always try to focus on is whenever we don't know what they're doing yet or what they want, we always try to throw something different. So if I'm throwing a moving bait, he's throwing a bottom bait, and vice versa. When he wants to throw a moving bait, then I'll switch up to a bottom bait. And so we're always trying to do something different until we figure out what the pattern is. And unfortunately, with these Wednesday nighters, we really don't have a whole lot of pre-fishing that we can do. I mean, we can come up here Monday or Tuesday and try to figure something out, but with the work schedule, sometimes it's hard to do. So we're normally coming in here blind after basically every other week we're fishing this. So we have a little over a week off that we don't know where the bites move to. And we really haven't been doing all that well in these tournaments. But we're going to pull up into this cove here. This cove's got a lot of structure, a lot of trees and grass that are buried in about 15 to 18 feet in the water. So I'm bringing this crankbait right over the top of it, hitting these trees and this grass. He's pitching and flipping into those reeds. Up here to the right, you're going to see this little point. It's a rocky point that goes out 20 feet or so. And so I'm dragging this crankbait, slowly getting deeper every cast, right across that rocky point, trying to get something up there. I switch over to the shaky head, a jig, and really just not having any luck with it. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to sit here for about a half hour, and then we're going to keep moving around this point and keep fishing this bank.
I think it's gonna be some ninja fish. Can I go first? Nathan. Wipe on this thing. How rocky this is. It might not be listening.
All right. So on this cast, I want you guys to pay attention to the rod as I'm bringing it back in. When this crankbait, I'm throwing a dredger, the Berkeley dredger, the 25.5, and I want you to watch the rod bend as this thing gets closer to the boat, and it's going to be important in the next couple casts here. But watch how much it bends and how hard this thing is pulling. As you can see, I have the rod tucked into my armpit, and we're getting this thing deep. I'm on 12-pound test. I'm getting the rod low into the water, and I'm trying to get this bait as far down, scraping the bottom as possible. So it's really pulling hard, and you'll see why that's important here in the next couple casts, like I said.
Alright, I know this is very pointless, but then again, we are at Saguaro, and
All right, so
now,
freak
until we
out
catch a fish,
in
nothing is pointless.
3,
I'm gonna do this.
2, 1.
I have a fish. I have a fish. Holy it's a fish. Oh my goodness. It's big, dude. Yeah, net? Yeah, underneath right there in the fire, the Phoenix. Strip and drag. Where's the fucking part? Underneath my feet. Oh. I need to go. It may not be huge, but drag. Well, we're gonna try it. Oh, dude, it's a decent fish. Hey, dude. Dude, that's my PB. 100% that's my PB. My PB is 3.6 right now. That's almost 5. 4.5, I was gonna say. Yeah. 4.5. Hell yeah. Dude, that might be 6, dude. This thing's heavy. Actually, dude. Whoa. Out of the net? This might be 6, dude. Do you have a little scale? Yes. See, as I'm sitting there talking about my crazy idea, I was just gonna throw this frog into the tree there. Alright guys, that's my PB for the year. Biggest fish I've ever caught, 491.
Alright guys, unfortunately that's all the video footage I have of that night. GoPro died right after I caught that fish. I was really thankful that it was able to capture everything that I wanted it to see. So as you could tell, I was super stoked about that fish. the biggest fish I've ever caught. Biggest fish I've ever caught in a tournament, and only the second fish I've ever caught on these Wednesday night tournaments at Lake Saguaro. This lake has really given me a hard time trying to figure it out, trying to get these big fish, and this lake has some big fish. Um, I think that night the big three was just over 15 pounds, which was one of the lowest weights that we've had. Normally they're in the 20 to 21 pound range, and normally someone has a kicker that's 8 or 9 pounds, and big fish was only just shy of 5.5 pounds. So I mean, 5.5 pounds is definitely still a huge fish, but definitely wasn't as big as what's normally been coming in. I had the third biggest fish of the night, so I was really excited about that. Unfortunately, we didn't get the fish much longer. About an hour after we caught that fish, the big motor died. We went to go start it to move to the next spot, and we didn't have any juice. Wouldn't start. So it was 8:30 at that point. We had until 10:30 to fish, and we put the trolling motor on high. We were about 2.5 miles away from the dock, and so we started heading back to the dock. And yeah, we were fishing on the way back, but I mean, we're doing 2.5, 3 miles an hour on the trolling motor, and realistically, we're just throwing baits out there hoping to get lucky, and we didn't catch anything going in. It kind of sucks. We were getting bites. We missed a couple fish, so we should have been able to bring three in. Unfortunately, if you don't fish clean, that's what happens. So we missed a couple fish. Got back in at 10:30 with the one fish that we weighed in, and that's just unfortunately how it went after that night. It wasn't a great day. A lot of issues, mechanical issues that could have been avoided. But like I said, it is what it is, and caught my PB, so I was super excited about that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already done that. Comment down below. I'll respond to you guys, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for watching Monkey Butt Fishing.